So I guess you could consider this a Christmas miracle. Um, Now we knew that Sonic was going to completely dominate. The Sonic movies are always do well. You know, the first two, especially after the first one, when Sonic was shown off, and everyone just saw that first terrible design. What happened afterwards? People voiced a concern, no matter how harsh that criticism was about how ugly that thing was. And what happened? That's the Sonic we got. They changed it. They didn't call people phobes and isms. They didn't say if you don't like it, don't watch it. They didn't call you Nazis. They didn't. No, they changed it because they wanted people to see their movie. So the first movie was really, really fun. The second movie was really, really fun. The third movie is just dominating. What do you expect? You know, they're fun movies made for everyone. They're not preachy. And you know, they don't come out and attack fans, unlike Disney. But Disney bullies theaters, forcing Mufasa on more theaters than Sonic 3, even as the Hedgehog earns far more. I mean, he's a blue blur. He's just all over the place, making money. So, um, as the holiday season unfolds, the cinematic landscape reveals a familiar pattern. Disney flexing its box office muscles by dominating theater allocations. However, this year brings an unusual twist as Sonic the Hedgehog 3, not the game, which is still amazing, has emerged as the unexpected box office leader for the media analysts, but for not for you nor me, despite being hindered by Disney's theater allocations tactics. Disney's approach to holiday releases has long relied on securing the widest possible theater footprint. This strategy ensures that their films are accessible to the broadest audience, squeezing out competitors. Historically, this tactic has been highly effective. 1999, Toy Story 2 dominated Thanksgiving weekend with a record breaking release in 3,200 theaters, setting a precedent for Disney's future holiday campaigns. More recently, Moana 2 debuted at a staggering 4,200 theaters during Thanksgiving 2024, grossing 221 million in 5 days and contributing to the highest grossing Thanksgiving weekend on record. Disney's control over theater allocations not only boosts revenue, but also limits the availability of screens for competing films, particularly during the lucrative holiday season. But yet, here we are. Despite Disney's dominance, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 has managed to outpace the competition at the box office, raking in more than 60 million in its opening weekend and securing the top spot in North America. Good for it. I mean, the series is really, really good. It more than deserves it. Again, this was a game. You know, it been a franchise that people love for so long, and when we saw what Sonic looked like, people were less than generous and nice when it came to voicing their outrage about how hideous the thing was. But again, they didn't come out and say, "Oh, fuck you. You're a bunch of phobes, isms. You don't like it, don't watch it. You're just a bunch of far right extremists, incels, and blah 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 blah." No, they changed it. They changed it, and here we are, the third movie, and this one's extremely successful because they're fun movies. You know, you watch it. The stories are good. I mean, for a game based on Sonic the Hedgehog, the stories are really good. The visuals are really good. You know, looking around and seeing all the Easter eggs for the gamers, you know, for the fans and all that, seeing if they can catch it. Um, it's just a fun movie for everyone. I mean, because there's really no one alive who hasn't heard of Sonic the Hedgehog. It's like Mario. So even if you've never played the game, this is a character you know because they've been around since the early 90s. So you know Sonic, you know what he's about, you know that he's got to go fast. Um, you know, and even if you don't play the games, you have kids or, you know, you're just alone or whatever, you're like, you know, I know Sonic. I know Sonic, you know? and you go see the movie because well-known character, and you haven't been pushed away by going online or whatever else and seeing the company come out and attack the fans, because that's what happens. You come out and attack the fans, not only are the fans not going to go see the movie, but potential customers aren't going to want to see it because they see how these companies are treating the people, the customers. So but we got Joe. Isn't it crazy that Sonic 1 had a complete rework, Sonic 2 filmed through COVID, and Sonic 3 filmed around the actors and writer strike, but still came out with an amazing trilogy? Yeah. Want to know why? Because they're just good movies. They're made for the fans. They have strong females, characters who are females who the people like the viewer, the customer. One of them's black. Great character. So the fact is, all you need is a good movie that's for everyone with well-written characters. It doesn't matter if they're black, they could be gay, it doesn't matter. It's just a well-written movie with well-written characters it's just fun. It doesn't preach. It's Sonic the freaking Hedgehog. Um Currently showing in 3700. Nice. Location: Sonic the Hedgehog 3 faces a bottleneck caused by contractual obligations many theaters have with Disney for Mufasa, the Lion King. While Sonic 3 has provided far more revenue per theaters, the total count of screens added for Sonic 3 from its first week to its second will be a staggering 8. Yes, 8 additional screens in the entire nation. Disney's agreements often stipulate extended runs in a high number of theaters, leaving little room for other blockbusters to increase their reach. Because Disney's greedy as all hell. Despite being the second highest earner in the season, Mufasa continues to occupy 4,100 locations, effectively stifling Sonic's ability to capitalize on the box office momentum. It's not going to really matter, because I'm sure there are going to be, those locations that where it is, people are going to see it multiple times. So it's kind of making up for the lack of theaters. I mean, I think this is going to be a movie that, Mufasa is going to be like one of those movies you see once. But Sonic, I think, is probably going to be one of those movies you see multiple times because there are so many references and you're going to keep going back. I mean, the last time I did that was with The Dark Knight. It was such a good movie, and every time, we went back to see it, it was just like something else you catch. And so, yeah, it might be less locations for, Sonic 3, but people are going to go see it a lot more than people are going to go see Mufasa. They're going to take their kids, it's a little Christmas, it's Christmas time. But people are going to be like, nope, what are you going to do today? Well, I'm going to go see Sonic 3. Did you see it already? Yeah. So, I think it's going to be one of those movies where people just continue to go. I mean, it's got Keanu Reeves as Shadow. I mean, Keanu Reeves, Shadow, match made in heaven. You've got Jim Carrey playing not only, the Robotnik we know, but Gerald Robotnik, who's a huge lore character. You've got him, so he's playing off himself. I mean, so you're gonna have a good time. You're gonna have a good time. Or you can go see this with, CGI lions that don't have that much expression, despite the fact that they're CGI, so you can make them more expressive because, again, CGI. But, I guess people like that not so surprised look when you should be surprised. Scenarios highlight the broader implications of Disney Theater's saturation strategy. While the tactic maximizes Disney's box office returns, it also reshapes the competitive dynamics of the holiday season. Films like Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which might otherwise expand their footprints to meet audience demand, are constrained by the lack of available screens. Theaters, too, face a dilemma. I mean, it should really be supply and demand. If people are demanding Sonic over Mufasa, then more theaters should be able to show Sonic. I mean, the fact that Disney is able to just kind of force themselves, like, the word that I want to say, but I can't because of YouTube. It's like theater essay. They're just forcing themselves in. No one's asking for it. They're just forcing themselves. Like, Disney, can you please remove yourself? No one is asking for you. We want Sonic. No, you're gonna take Mufasa. Um. So, Disney, consent. Learn it. It's real. Um. Disney's films often come with guarantees of high audience turnout, making them a safer bet for exhibitors. However, this reliance on Disney can lead to a reduced diversity in movie offerings, limiting choices for moviegoers and opportunities for competing studios. The recent past is starting to have some at AMC and Regal consider their House of Mouse relationships. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 continues to thrive against the odds, which is insane. Its success raises questions about the sustainability of Disney's dominance. Can other studios find ways to break through Disney's theater stronghold? Or will the Mouse House continue to dictate the rules of the game during peak seasons? Find out on the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z. The Strange Case of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, a box office leader constrained by theater availability, underscores the evolving challenge of a market dominated by a single powerhouse. It remains to be seen whether this marks the beginning of a shift in holiday box office dynamics or fleeting anomaly in Disney's reign. Oh, the panic is real. Is Disney truly feeling the heat finally? Even bullying theaters can't save Mufasa from being number 2 in every sense of the word. Worse still for them is how this is going to cost them their control over theaters. AMC and others will go where the money is, and it ain't from the Mouse House anymore. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Shadow's like, get out of here, Disney. Um, what's Sonic 4 gonna go through next? The complete and total collapse of Hollywood. And yet somehow the movie's still gonna come out and dominate. Meanwhile, Marvel can't even write a Blade movie. You should spend more time reading books instead of watching children's cartoons. uh, yeah, I mean, people enjoy cartoons. Youth outreach. Amazing is pushing it. 1 and 2 prevent it from being truly amazing. It's like calling the Wolverine trilogy amazing, with Logan being the only great movie. No, I mean they're not like masterpieces, but they're really good, especially for video game movies. Video game movies have a tendency to, fail. So the fact that not only are we getting Sonic the Hedgehog the first time, not only was it successful, but successful enough to warrant 2 other movies. Again, that's incredible because, having a movie based on a video game with 1 movie, that's hard enough. But then to have 2 movies after it and have all of them successful. I mean, I was hearing, like Detective Pikachu. I was hearing something about Detective Pikachu 2 that Ryan Reynolds and whoever else is working on. I mean, probably was just a rumor, but You know, same thing. That was a great movie, showing once again that when you make it for the fans, it turns out really, really good. I'm like, I had so much fun with that movie, seeing every little reference from the games and the show and this and that. Um, Five Nights at Freddy's. The fact that they took a game like Five Nights at Freddy's, where you're sitting around, clicking around to look at, and they made it into a full movie. Same thing, references galore, and it was made for the fans. So uh, video game movies can succeed when done right. You know, Sonic, Detective Pikachu, Mario crossing $1 billion. It was a fun movie. Was it a masterpiece? No, but there were so many references. The voices were great. The animation was great. It was fun, even if the story wasn't that super. I mean, it's Mario. Mario. You know the whole Mario thing. Bowser's obsession with Peach. You know, it doesn't need to be a super complex story to get people excited to go see it. So instead, like, you have Disney, who relies on remakes, live action remakes and sequels, things that no one's really asking for. And but I'm glad to see that Sonic's doing it. They deserve it. You know, Clearly they care about the fans. Watching interviews with Jim Carrey and the other people, Keanu Reeves and Idris Elba, and they truly care about the fans here, and they really do want to make a fun experience for everyone. And it seems to be really fun to work. They're all like, how fun it is to actually work on this movie. Uh, so or this series, especially if they're long running characters. But yeah, I'm glad to see Sonic since the beginning. I've loved Sonic. So it's nice to see that Sonic has gotten a live action movie that's doing well. Um, Now if we can get actually no, I don't want to. Mario tried live action and didn't work. I mean, it could probably work out now. There were just things with that Mario movie that were just, the people directing it really didn't know much about Mario. Um, there really weren't a whole lot of Mario games at the time, so there's really not much to base it on. But now we have so many games. You know, People want a Legend of Zelda movie, which, I mean, I love Zelda. Like, I love Zelda, but I do not want a live action Zelda movie. I am terrified of how badly that would. I really don't want them to make like a live action Zelda movie and have them kind of make the cartoon Link of "Excuse me, princess." I don't want that. I don't want that. But Sonic more than deserves it. Great character, great franchise. The movies are great. Everything is great. So many great movies, so many great characters, all well written. The blue blur. But anyway, if you've seen Sonic 3, let me know what you guys thought of it. Um, but yeah, Merry Christmas. That's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.